What if Sony's next flagship camera is not about winning one category, but about quietly erasing every reason you carry a second body? That is the strange energy surrounding the Sony A1 III rumors right now. Instead of one headline upgrade, the whispers suggest something more dangerous. A camera designed to blur the lines between speed, resolution, and serious video in a way that makes compromises feel outdated. Today, we're unpacking what the leaks are really pointing toward, why the current A1 II already sets an absurdly high bar, and why the A1 III might raise more questions than answers for photographers and filmmakers alike. Stick around because this one gets interesting fast. First, the obvious disclaimer. None of this is confirmed, but patterns form rumors, and the pattern here is clear. Sony does not appear to be chasing a niche. The A1 III is rumored to double down on peak hybrid performance, a faster next-generation sensor, more advanced AI-driven autofocus, and video specs that inch closer to cinema-grade reliability without turning the camera into a brick. On the sensor side, the talk points toward a refined stack design with even faster readout. Speed matters more than resolution at this level. It controls rolling shutter, enables blackout-free shooting, and makes high megapixels usable for action. Some speculation even hints at global shutter technology creeping closer, but Sony may still favor stacked CMOS if it preserves dynamic range and low-light performance. That choice alone could define the A1 III's identity. Beyond the sensor, the rumors keep circling usability. A flagship lives or dies by how it feels during long, unforgiving days. The dream scenario being whispered includes a top-tier electronic viewfinder with absurd resolution and refresh rates that make it feel like reality, not a screen. Ergonomics are also under the microscope. A deeper grip, more confident button feedback, and refinements that matter when you're shooting in rain, dust, or heat for hours. Autofocus remains Sony's crown jewel, but leaks suggest the focus here is not just recognition, but behavior. Smarter subject tracking through clutter, better priority logic, and more predictable performance when the scene gets messy. The goal is not flashier AI, but autofocus that feels reliable rather than clever. Video rumors around the A1 III are where expectations really spike. The A1 line has always carried the reputation of being the camera that casually does high-end video. With the A1 III, the expectation is fewer caveats, more flexible 8K options, higher frame rates without awkward crops, better heat management, and long-form reliability that doesn't feel like a gamble. Sony's unique position with both Alpha and Cinema line products means the A1 III could become the ultimate bridge camera, the kind of tool that lets hybrid creators shoot stills and serious video without feeling like they're compromising either side of their workflow. To understand what the A1 III needs to be, you have to look at the A1 II. It's already a monster. High resolution, extreme speed, class-leading autofocus, and video capabilities that step confidently into professional territory. In real-world use, it feels unfair when paired with top-tier lenses, but the bar being so high creates a strange problem. Small annoyances feel massive. Battery life comes up often, especially during long, autofocus-heavy sessions. File format and compression trade-offs frustrate purists. Some shooters want faster, more universally pro-card workflows. Autofocus behavior in cluttered scenes can occasionally feel unpredictable. None of these flaws break the camera, but they highlight friction in a tool that otherwise feels close to perfect. Sony doesn't build flagships in isolation. Canon is pushing harder into sports and action dominance. Nikon continues to earn loyalty with rugged, consistent pro bodies. And global shutter technology is reshaping expectations around banding, distortion, and flash sync. The A1 III isn't just another camera, it's Sony's statement. If Sony leans too far into new shutter tech, they risk sacrificing image quality that hybrid shooters demand. If they stick with stacked CMOS, they must make readout speed and AI behavior so good that the old complaints simply disappear. If Sony gets this balance right, the A1 III could feel like the closest thing to a true one-camera solution. Not perfect on paper, but trusted in the field. So now it's your turn. What would make the A1 III irresistible for you? Drop your expectations in the comments. What happens when a camera rumor refuses to die and instead keeps getting louder? That is exactly what is happening right now with the Sony A7S IV. It has been years since the A7S III redefined low-light video and hybrid reliability, and creators have been asking the same question ever since: what is next? Today, we are breaking down why these rumors are suddenly heating up, what might actually be changing this time, and why the A7S IV could be one of the most important camera releases Sony has made in years. Stay with me because this is bigger than a simple spec bump. The A7S series has never followed a normal release cycle. Sony does not update it just because a calendar says so. The S line shows up only when Sony believes the technology has caught up with its philosophy. That is why every leak matters more than usual. And lately, those leaks have been piling up. Early whispers from component suppliers pointed to a new low-resolution sensor with significantly improved dynamic range. That alone was enough to spark debate. Sony built the A7S legacy on 12 megapixels and unmatched low light. But now, insiders suggest a modest bump into the 12 to 20 megapixel range. Not enough to chase stills cameras, but enough to modernize flexibility without sacrificing sensitivity. This is where the rumors get serious. Multiple video focus sources claim Sony is testing new thermal materials similar to what appeared in advanced flagship prototypes. That opens the door to longer recording times and higher bitrate workflows. Most realistic expectations point to uncropped 4K at 120 frames per second, possibly even higher frame rates with manageable crops. 10-bit 422 across all modes feels almost guaranteed at this point. 8K remains controversial, but even without it, a rock-solid 4K pipeline with extended reliability would already be a major win. And one leak mentioning cinema-level recording sessions sent forums into overdrive. That suggests Sony wants this camera to live closer to compact cinema territory without crossing into the FX lineup. Autofocus is another area where improvement feels inevitable. Early firmware notes referenced updated AF logic tied more deeply into AI processing. That means better subject recognition, stronger tracking in low-contrast environments, and more confidence in fast-moving scenes. For documentary shooters, that matters more than headline specs. Then there's rolling shutter. A true global shutter still feels unlikely due to cost and power demands, but significantly reduced rolling artifacts could be on the table. Even a partial improvement would dramatically change handheld and gimbal shooting, making motion feel cleaner and more cinematic. Here's where things get interesting. Several insiders claim Sony is testing a slightly thicker body with a deeper grip and larger passive cooling system. That would be a first for the S line. Historically, Sony prioritized compactness, but creators today value reliability over minimalism. Nobody wants a tiny camera that stops recording mid-shoot. A slightly larger body that runs cool and stable could be a deliberate signal that Sony is listening. This would align with the idea that the A7S IV is no longer just a hybrid. It's a serious production tool that happens to fit in a mirrorless body. The A7S IV is entering a very different market than its predecessor. Canon has dramatically improved its video reliability and autofocus. Panasonic has rebuilt its reputation with strong codecs, better AF, and aggressive pricing. Nikon has proven it understands hybrid shooters with excellent heat management and color science. Even smartphones are eating into casual filmmaking. Sony no longer gets to coast on reputation alone. The A7S IV has to be exceptional, not just good. And Sony also has to protect its own cinema line, carefully balancing features without undercutting FX models. That's a tough line to walk. All of this explains why the excitement keeps building. The A7S IV is not just another camera, it's a statement about whether Sony still leads the video conversation or simply participates in it. If Sony delivers meaningful improvements in reliability, autofocus, rolling shutter control, and video flexibility, the A7S IV could once again reset expectations. If it plays too safe, momentum may continue shifting elsewhere. So now, I want to hear from you. What would make the A7S IV a must-buy for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this breakdown helped you, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what comes next.